it, you know, they got it. Some do not, and it's what I think that they're missing is they're forgetting a key component of using social media with social purpose. You know, remember why social media was invented, why it even is here today. It's a social media platform, you know. Why are we all here today? We're here to network. Sure, some people will be making sales, but, you know, at the heart of it, it's networking. It's meeting people. It's, you know, you're growing your network of people that you can reach out to and do business with. So the three pillars of using social media with social purpose is focusing on community, content, and engage. You want to build a community around your business, your brand. You want to create content that is going to provide some sort of value to the person looking at it. And then you want to engage with people continuously. Whether it's on your own page, you want to outwardly engage with people that's out floating in the social media space. These are all things that come together, and you're using social media with social purpose. So building a community. Now, I put this example up here. This is a Twitter, a tweet by somebody. And your food is pretty good. I have to ask though, why are your burgers square as opposed to being circular? So now, Wendy's, you know, Wendy's is a huge corporation business. They're just big. And, you know, they came and they answered, you don't cut corners. You know, that's funny. That's going to resonate with this person who made this tweet. They probably never expected Wendy's to answer, but here they answered. So if you're a business and somebody tags you on any platform, they share your post, they like something, and you are not engaging back, that's sending a message that I don't have time for you. And that leaves a message with the other person on the other side of the screen like, wow, they couldn't even just share my, you know, I tagged them in this and they didn't even share it. You can't see everything, I understand that, but it's just a prime example that you have a solid strategy like Wendy's. And there's tons of examples online that I can find like this, but this is just one. You have to be responsive. If you're a business and you know, just think, you start you leave here today and you start an Instagram page. You've been so inspired and moved to start a page. So you're like, okay, here I am at 10 followers. But you don't follow any of those people back. Instead, you follow your grandma, your neighbor, your best friend, and you're not following these people who are following your business. You know, you want to. It's like somebody reaching out for a handshake and you don't shake their hand. It's just because it's social media and you can't see them face to face doesn't mean that that person is receiving something on the other side of the screen. So you have to remember that the digital world collides with the real world, and you have to be responsive. Follow people back. Especially if you're a new page, follow everybody. Follow as many people as you can until, like me, when I first started, I followed so many people, commented, liked so many people's pages for so long that Instagram would block me. Like I would have a 2-day block, I wouldn't be able to engage with anybody anymore. So if you really want to grow that community online around your brand, you can by outwardly engaging, following back. And this encourages engagement from people. So it makes them know that like you're a human on the other side and you're going to respond, you're going to be there when they reach their hand out to shake your hand. So diving more into building a community. Here's 2 really great examples of brands that are online that I really love. Stabila Official, maybe some of you have heard of them. I know them, I love them. They have an awesome social media presence. They do great things by building a community, by sharing, right? So you see over here, this is a welder, a carpenter, and these are not people that Stabila took pictures of in a studio. These are actual, if you went to their page and you looked, these are actual photos of somebody else that posted it on their page, and Stabila reaches out, makes a connection with that person and says, wow, you took this time to make this beautiful photo with my product. I would love to share you on my page. And then that person on the other side is like, wow, that's amazing. Stabila is going to post me on their page. Like, I love Stabila, you know? And then they also do, you know, they'll have you can read right away in their bio, good tools, good work, Stabila established, be proud of your work, be a true pro. They're promoting something more than just their levels. It goes beyond their product. It's not, hey, buy my level, they're great. It's be a true pro, be a part of our family, share your skills, hashtag Stabila, hashtag be a true pro. So you come to their page and you're like, wow, this is really cool. Like they want you to, share your skills and be a really good craftsman or craftswoman. They want you to have pride in your work, and that shows. So they also do it by, you can see these little highlight bubbles here, right here, community, True Pro Ladies, my first Stabila charity. So the True Pro Ladies campaign is, it's focused on women in the trade. So I know as soon as Stabila sees a new female on the scene in the trades, they send them a package immediately. They get stickers, they get like mini keychain levels. They reach out, they say, hey, like we love your page, we love what you're doing. If you have any questions, I know because they've done it to me. They've done it to many other girls that I know online, and that they right away they come running at you like, shake my hand, be my friend, like this is great, be a part of our community, and it works. Another good company, they're not in our industry or anything, Printful. They are a print-on-demand company. And basically what you can do is, like, say if you wanted to add merch on your website or something, you can go to them, start up a profile, and basically it's like a third party fulfilling all the orders. You upload your designs, you pick what you want to be printed on, like a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and basically it integrates with your website, and when you make a sale, they have distributions all over them, and then the printing, I don't know what you call that, but they have it all over, and basically they fulfill the order and they send it out to the customer. You don't even have to touch it. So that's pretty amazing, and how they've been able to build a community around this print on demand from other small businesses that are integrating with what they have to offer. And they do that by not only by their social media, by using user-generated content, and they have takeover bubbles, blogs, and they highlight their creators, so they partner with other creators online. What they'll do is they have an online Facebook group, it's really great because as soon as you make your profile with Printful, they invite you into this Printful Insider. So if you have issues, fulfillment issues, quality control issues, you can ask all your questions in there, and somebody from Printful, there's multiple admins from Printful in there that will take care of your questions in detail. And it's kind of in an open forum, so if you're in here and you have a question, you can search for it if the question has been answered already. And then also deep diving into Stabila with their community bubble. Anytime somebody posts a story on Instagram and tags Stabila or uses their hashtag, they immediately reshare it. So they're always exchanging handshakes virtually, if you will. They are on top of it. So they are a great example. If you need an example of somebody to model, they do a wonderful job. Next is posting with purpose. I kind of touched on this already, but basically, you don't post on your Instagram feed, your Facebook feed, anything that you have. Either infographics that are just pushing an event, a product, donate to us, etc., etc. Because what you'll see is that you can see the clear distinction between the Stabila Instagram that I just showed you, and if we pulled up any of their posts, what they do and what they say, and somebody who they just post up infographics, and it's not giving anybody on the other screen a reason to stay on their page. They kind of look at it and they're like, all right, I'm out, there's nothing here. So I'm using Nike as an example. If you look at Nike's Instagram feed, they are constantly posting about athletes. So Nike is a product, they have a product to sell, but they don't push the product on their page. Maybe if they have a new launch, you might see some pictures or something, but they're not, their focus on their Instagram page is about the athletes and about what's going on with the athletes in some way. You know, university students in Japan prepare all year, and no mention of Nike here. You know, it's Nike posting it, they're wearing Nike, but they're not, like, it doesn't look like Nike has an agenda to make a sale here. So you have to remember, keep social media social, post with purpose. What's the purpose? Value, entertainment, and education. If somebody took the time to come to your page and they're looking at what you have to offer, it's like, okay, you know, what's here? Like, there's no caption, there's nothing going on, there's no real value, there's nothing for me to read, there's nothing for me to connect with, there's nothing for me to engage with. It's an infographic about you're having a 10% off sale. Okay, I'm out. You know, like, to keep your viewers engaged, you have to do something more. You have to connect, and you need to know who your viewers are in the first place to even be able to connect with them. So, post with purpose. And I always say value, entertainment, and education in every post. So you want to model your posts around that. Not about the sale, not about what, you know, what's my ROI, how am I going to, you know, make a sale out of this, and what's the conversion. No. Social media is not about that. It was never intended for that. It only grew to be that once we saw that there were so many eyeballs on it. Now we're using it to market for other purposes. So here's another example of posting with purpose. McDonald's. Sure, this is their product. They posted on Facebook, which menu hack will you build yourself? You know, and then they put options here. So right away they're saying like, oh cool, you know, we have this menu, but go customize it any way you want. Which way, how would you, you know, which hack would you use first? And then they have all these, there was 5,000 comments, but I screenshotted these because these were the first few. And right away they're gaining valuable information from their consumer. So y'all can do this, but no snack wrap, huh? A lot of people are upset that McDonald's got rid of the snack wrap. So they're getting valuable information of how many people want their snack wrap back. And even though this post has nothing to do with the snack wrap, but you can see that 1, 2, 3 people, these are the very first comments that came up, and I'm sure that there's probably hundreds. You know, McDonald's can get a good indication of maybe we should bring the snack wrap back. And, you know, this provides not only value to the consumer because they're connecting with McDonald's. I mean, McDonald's doesn't even need to be, you know, when I talk to a lot of business owners and they're like, so I don't need to do that. McDonald's does it. You know, McDonald's has been around a lot longer than a lot of us, so why do they do it? There's got to be a reason. And, you know, there's case studies online specifically about McDonald's, so if anybody wants to go look that up. Their strategy, you know, they're trying to legacy brand. And I think that even if you're a kid in a car seat, you probably know what McDonald's is. But, you know, in order to stay around, you need to continue to progress and grow. And I think that they do a really wonderful job at connecting with their consumer in different ways. And they're not just saying, hey, my burger's $1, go get it. You know, go shop the dollar bin today. That provides no value to them. Get involved. So my favorite way is to get involved on social media. So I told you to try to engage with people, try to get them commenting. Here's ways you can start doing it. Instagram has a Q&A feature. You can post up a question on, or you could just say, ask us anything, you know, and you can let your viewers weigh in. And what this does is it not only gets people engaging, but you're able to answer questions in real time. Answering questions in real time to people, that's like, you know, you're sitting across from them and they have an issue and you're answering it head on. You can, if they have an issue or if they have a very specific question, like you're able to help them immediately. And I love doing this with a video. So I do this on my story and I have them ask me questions, or I'm like, hey, you know, I don't know if we did a self-leveling video and we posted the time lapse on here and we asked if anybody had any questions about what we were doing. a lot of people weighed in, and I got to answer them with a quick video. I just got on my phone and I was like, hey, so this is what you do, this is how I know this, and yada yada, and it's a personal connection, and now I'm answering their question and I'm reaching out to them in a different way than just making a static post on my feed. The Instagram Q&A, this posts right to your stories, and another cool way to do this is, if there's an important thing going on, you can post up a question box, and if people ask, and they're questions that you get all the time maybe, you can make a highlight bubble on your Instagram page, frequently asked questions, of you answering the frequently asked questions in a video format, which we know everybody loves nowadays. So contest. So Burger King, this is Twitter again, and Burger King, comment your BK order and we'll incorrectly guess your astrology sign. There is no, when you look at it, there's no ulterior motive here for Burger King other than they're keeping social media social. So they're just being social with their followers in a way that's like, oh, it would be funny, let's see what they say. They're not giving anything away, there's no free product, there's no nothing. They're just simply answering, and people are going to engage because they're like, well, I want to see what Burger King's going to guess at my astrology sign is. And it's fun. And being able to connect with a brand like Burger King, who is just always a brand, it's an online brand, not an online brand, it's just it's a burger place. And you can connect with them online, and social media bridges the gap between that weird facade that this is a business and makes it human. You can humanize your brand using social media. Ladder Creek just did the National Sticker Day contest, and I loved it because you can clearly see if you look at their page how many people loved this post. They made a post about, comment, one word that comes to mind when you hear Ladder Creek. And a ton of people commented, and it was great. So they got a ton of engagement on this post. The only thing that I would have suggested to do a little bit better would be to tag a friend. So you leave a comment, you tag a friend, and then we're giving out a sticker to the first, I think it was 10 people or something like that. And everyone loved it, 169 likes, and I think they got over 100 comments on that post. And they have a pretty good Instagram following, but their engagement is kind of low on a lot of the posts, but this one did awesome. So you can see the clear difference between posting with a purpose and keeping social media social versus just posting some random infographic thing that doesn't really connect. So moving into direct action engagement. So this is a totally made up phrase by me and Chris, my fiance. We made this up because it's a micro strategy, if you will, for Instagram. So it's really taking a deep dive on what you can actually physically do for social media, for Instagram. A lot of these things will work on some other platforms, but this is specifically for Instagram, and it is exactly what I did in the beginning. So you want to target your niche. You want to actively, so before I get into this actually, direct action engagement is you going out, like you're going to find the people you want to network with online. You don't want to just make a post and hope that something happens. You want to make posts and you want to go out and be like trying to reach out to shake everyone's hand. So target your niche. You want to use hashtags. Using hashtags in the search feature. Looking up location, industry, skill. So for example, if it was me, I would go in the search and I would say, hashtag tile. And I would look up all the posts that would come up. And I'm going to just start going through, see what I like. And if I find a page, maybe it's a showroom, maybe it's an installer, maybe it's a manufacturer. Somebody I never even connected with. I'm going to right away follow their page. I'm going to like a couple of their posts. I'm going to leave an engaging comment, something that's going to leave value with them, that I actually took time to look at their post. Now, that's me reaching my hand out for the handshake. If they don't reach back, that's up to them, but you go out, you put your hand out, that's how you do it. And then 90% of the time, because you followed, you've engaged, you've left an engaging comment, now they might engage back, hopefully, if they're, they are using social media for social purpose, with social purpose, then they're going to follow you back. Now you made a connection. And a lot of times what happens is they'll come to your page, they'll like your stuff, maybe they'll send you a DM. If you do this, don't go right away sending somebody a DM. Hey, I'm so-and-so, let me sell you my tile, for example, because that happens to me a lot. You right away, you know that you're soliciting, you can see, it's not genuine, and you're trying to make a sale again, so that's not the purpose. Connect with other businesses in your niche, your community, and with similar interests. So, say for example, and I'm just going to stay here with the tile thing, because if I had a tile showroom and, I was I live in Houston. So in Houston, I'm a tile showroom. What am I going to do? I'm going to look at tile, I'm going to look at interior design. So I want to connect with tile installers, I want to connect with designers, I want to connect with builders, architects, I want to connect with anybody really, any small business in my direct community. What does that do? That builds my network. These are all people that you can pull resources from locally. You can also look up the hashtag like Houston, and find people in your area. And then you can see, because anybody can be your customer. You don't know who somebody else knows, and you don't know what their interests are. But these are all things that it sounds so simple with me saying it, but it actually makes a huge impact when you set out some time in the day and you're like, I'm going to do this for 30 minutes today. I'm going to reach out to 15 people. It's the same exact thing as sending, an email, a follow-up email after this event. It's the same exact thing. It's just on a different platform. It's not weird to do that. It's not weird to follow people on social media. It's totally normal. The things that I hear is like, oh, well, I don't want to, I don't know who this is, so I don't want to follow them. Well, they don't know you either, and they started a social media platform for a reason, so just follow them, like their page. It doesn't mean anything else besides you're a business, they're a business. Let's connect. That's it. So, suggested accounts. This is another, I don't know if anybody uses this, but when you go to somebody's page, so say, for example, if you went in your phone right now on Instagram and you found anybody, doesn't matter. You look at their profile, there's a little, let me see, I think I have an example here. Yes, okay. So there's a little plus button here, right here. And this is clicked, and right over here, so right here is Architessa Online, and they have, if you click this little plus guy right here, you'll pull up similar accounts, suggested for you because you're on Architessa's Instagram. Suggested for you, other accounts exactly like Architessa, probably in the same niche that you can follow. Now this is a really, really cool tool because if you are, say, Architessa Online, what I would recommend, Architessa has 1,400 followers currently, what I would recommend is that they go to some of these pages here in the suggested box, follow them, and try to target other accounts with, you don't want to target an account like, say, I know who Architessa is, but for example, if I didn't know them and they followed me, I get a ton of followers a day, I might not see them, so I might not be able to shake their hand back. And it kind of stinks because I don't want to leave a bad impression, but if they're targeting an account that they want to follow them back, you want to target accounts that are in a similar follower range because you know that they're going to be able to actually see what you're doing and you're engaging with them and you're commenting. So if I have 1,400 followers, I would target any account under 5,000 followers, maybe up to 10,000 followers, so that I knew I had a better chance of them following me back. And the thing is, when you start connecting with accounts that have bigger followings, the algorithm will work in your favor. Because now you have these bigger accounts with a bigger network and a bigger authority on Instagram, essentially, if you will, liking and engaging with your posts, which will just increase your reach on Instagram. Here's a quick example of I just put in here, this is what happens. Like, you search tile on Instagram, there's 3.5 million posts in there. All about tile. 3.5 million posts. There's thousands, there's seas of people in there connected. Way more than you can touch here at Tice. Houston too. 28.5 million posts. That's crazy. That's super targeted. So another really cool thing is mentions. So you want to be able to, okay, so say you wanted to target me, and you're like, oh, well, like, I like that Tile Chicks page, and the best way to do that is one of my posts, share it, and you want to add a mention. A mention is when you share a post and then you do the @ symbol and then you mention their Instagram handle in your post. What that does is, because if you just share the post, Instagram now, it will send me a DM. But there's a lot of DMs, and I won't get to it. And I might not get to it the same day you share my post in your story, so I might not ever see it. But if you add a mention, when I open up my notifications, it goes right up at the top. It's almost impossible to miss. So if you had 2 followers and you mentioned me in your story, you're going to pop up right here at the top. So you guys, if you have Instagram, you can go right to Stabila right now and share one of their posts and tag them in a mention. They'll probably follow you back. So that's just like I really like to use that to get somebody's attention who might have not seen it. Okay. So staying relevant, because now I gave you some strategies, but now Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, everything, it just keeps changing, and then there's a new strategy that you can implement. All the things that I just told you, they're still going to work today. They're very basic. It's labor intensive. It's not, let me try to hit the algorithm so I can go viral. It's no, you're actually doing work to actually physically network with people that can actually, it can grow to something that can actually benefit you in person. So, staying relevant. These are trends outlined in Hootsuite, which they are I'm not entirely sure what their platform does, but I know it's like a backdoor social media management software, and they put out this trend report for 2022 of what are the key trends to look at for 2022. And I like these 3 the best. I think that they were the most relevant to what we were talking about. So keep a core focus. So you want to build your audience around what your goals are. You want to figure out what it is that, what your goal is for social media, who's your audience, because if you don't know who your audience is, you can't target them. So what's your content going to be like? What's your brand like? What does your audience like? What kind of TV shows does your audience watch? What do they like to read? Who are they as a person? Because you can't really connect with them if you don't know any of those things. So that's your core focus. And then incorporating new trends to help that core focus continue growing is what staying relevant is about. So here is some new trends to take a look at. TikTok gains 8 new users every second. That's a big deal, so you can start calculating that. They've grown immensely. Long form video is a bust except for YouTube. This is a trend. And I'll get more into that in a little bit because I'm not sure if I fully agree, just based on a couple things that I've experienced. And then outsource content to creators. I don't know if anybody in this room has ever worked with a creator or knows how to go about doing that, but we're going to touch on that. So big brands are using TikTok. I talk to a lot of people and they're like, oh, TikTok's fake. It's a fake platform. It's not going anywhere. There's just 10-year-olds dancing on TikTok. If you download the app and you started using TikTok, it works a lot differently than the other platforms we're used to. They have the For You page, which if you've never used TikTok, they're going to throw anything at you, anything and everything. So they're going to throw the stuff at you that goes most viral on TikTok. and they're gonna see if you like it. But if you don't engage with it, there's a way, there's like 3 little dots at the bottom right of the screen, you can click it and say, I'm not interested. And then what you can do is you can use my hashtag strategy to search people in your industry. You can go right to the search feature, hit hashtag tile, hit hashtag design, whatever it is that you're interested in, and start following accounts, because there's a ton of tile setters on TikTok. They're all they're young, and it's pretty amazing to see what they're doing. They're growing crazy on there. So there's people in our industry that do trades. They're on TikTok. And you just have to kind of do a little bit of work to get the For You page algorithm right for you so that when you're looking at it, you can actually gain something out of it. But we have Amazon, and the Washington Post is on TikTok. Their TikToks are hilarious. Like, who would have ever thought that Amazon would be making TikToks? Not me. And the Washington Post, you know, their newspaper. So they have a ton of funny stuff going on there. And just a key point here is that from January 2021 to September 2021, they grew from 689 million users to 1 billion. You know, it's crazy. The TikTok platform is, you know, and the more I look at the statistics and the data, it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of worried because now Instagram, even YouTube, they're all putting out the short form content that's similar to TikTok. And I love Instagram. I don't want Instagram to go away, but you know, this is why I started with TikTok. So, a key tip here is if you do have social media pages and you own a business and you own a brand, I would just get on TikTok and grab your handle, grab your name so that you have it. And maybe later down the line, you can use it if you want to. So, long form video is a bust, according to Hootsuite and their blog. I think that long form video has its place, but definitely start incorporating reels. This is a reel from Instagram from Play Imports. I love their Instagram, by the way. They have, like, this reel is just them painting this tile. And they have a bunch of reels just like this. This reel got, if I remember correctly, like 25,000 views and 1,200 likes and 34 comments, all very engaging comments on this post, and there's a ton other like it. This isn't all that they post. They post some pictures and they post carousel images and they share things that are going on within their business, but they're also providing entertainment to the person on the other end of the screen. This has no other motive besides to just share like the creative part of what they do and why they love it. It shows that they have passion for what they do, and that connects with people on the other end. So, pro tip: if TikTok is not your idea of a good time, just try to incorporate some reels into your content. Instagram and Facebook are offering the reels, and I know that the algorithm is favorable towards the reels as far as new reach. So it's definitely something you want to try to start incorporating. So here's my personal opinion on the long form versus the short form video. And while it might not be the top trending thing right now, I recently posted a longer format video for Instagram. And it's over 1 minute. So what we consider a short form video is, you know, under 1 minute. 1 minute and under. And you can post that in the Reels category. Anything over 1 minute on Instagram goes right into their Instagram videos. They've since got rid of IGTV, so anything that's super long is out. It's just, I posted a video that was just under 3 minutes, so here's the insights from that post. So right away, yes, it got really good engagement, right? We reached 61,000 people, 43,000 views on the video, 2,000 likes, and yada, yada, yada. And these are really important. The shares and the saves is way more important than these guys over here. You know, the views are great, the reach is important, but shares and saves That's saying that somebody's saving it so they can come back to it later. That means you're really providing value in that post. You're sharing something that someone wants to save and go back to look at later and maybe help them with something down the line. So the reach here for this video, which was just under 3 minutes, 61,000 people reached, and 38,000 of them were my followers and 23,000 were not my followers. So it's almost a 50-50 split between new reach and my existing followers. Why is that important? Well, because everybody's saying that, oh, just do reels in short form and TikTok style videos. TikTok style videos and the reels are really good, but when it comes to what we said before is post with purpose and provide value, entertainment, and education, you can't always get really good purpose through with just a 1-minute video or even less than that. It's kind of hard sometimes. It's good for entertainment purposes and quick blurbs, but your audience on these social media platforms, they get burnt out from seeing little videos all the time. You know, like they're not consuming anything from it, and I think that that might, at the end of the day, water down what your true purpose is when you're using social media as, you know, as being a business. So what you want to do is you want to continue to grow that community, and the way you can do that is, I think, by using the different video formats strategically. So if you see here, this was a reel that I posted, and this was the reach. This was the reel I posted. 245,000 people reached. And now these are obviously the algorithm favors the reels way more. I got 349,000 Instagram and Facebook plays on it, 267,000 plays, and all this 700 shares and 536 saves. That's crazy, you know, compared to this. So you can see that the algorithm is just favoring it. People are consuming it because it's a quick glance. But also, people really liked this, and you can tell by the numbers. It may not be as inflated as this, but this is still important at educating your consumer or the viewer. So here's the overall statistics on my Instagram, and you can see right here, content reach by content type. The reels, look at the reach. The videos, that's the regular video, long format, longer, over a minute. You know, the reach is significantly less. But I think that incorporating them both is important. Reels for reach, longer video for education and value. So you can use reels for entertaining purposes. A quick, like, oh cool, that's a satisfying video, like you're cleaning the floor or painting the tile, anything. And it gets you new discovery, because that's just as important as, you know, kind of cultivating community. So, outsourcing to content creators is the next topic, and this is a thing that I don't really see a lot in this industry. It exists big time in a lot of other industries like fitness, fashion, beauty. But in this industry, for some reason, we're not connecting to the creators to help us with the content. And so essentially what a creator does is you, a brand, where's my little pointer? You, a brand, connects with the creator. And the creator provides the audience, which they've already, so like I've already, for example, I'm a creator, I have already created and built up a very specific targeted audience in my industry. So you as a brand can leverage that audience in an organic way that reaches them differently than a paid ad. You can look at any number of statistics on how many people would rather take a recommendation from somebody they consider a friend, which is usually the content creator, versus you dumping a lot of money into a paid ad and, you know, you're going out into a big pond, as opposed to targeting a very specific audience. So what else do they provide with their audience? They've already built up trust and rapport. So more than likely, if you partner with the right influencer or content creator, they have built up a really good rapport with their audience already. You can leverage that. They also create very creative content, and they have already invested the money and the equipment they are comfortable with getting on camera, they do all these things for you. And you're just pretty much leveraging what the content creator has built, audience trust, and the ability to create good content that resonates with your target audience to do that. So basically, the other thing I really want to mention here is not all creators are created equal. Some content creators will just do things and it might not be the best. And what I mean by that is like they don't have the same values as you. So as a business, it's the same thing when you hire an employee. You want to make sure that their values align with you. Are they doing it for the right reason? Because at the end of the day, there's content creators who take what they do serious, and then there's content creators who just see it as a side hobby and they just like to get free tools. And they're not actually really caring about cultivating a community that trusts them. So you as a brand might not really get any value out of leveraging that. They might get a little exposure, but at the end of the day, to really gain trust, you have to partner with the right people. Outsourcing content creators, so I already kind of mentioned this. They're able to connect, gain trust, they give you targeted discovery, and then they create creative content and engaging content for you. So how can you outsource the content creators? You can do this by long-term partnerships with being able to create a proposal, a contract, and work with them on a long-term basis. I've worked with brands from 1 to 6 months, and you partner with them so that like you can make an agreement. Oh, hey, you know, I want you to do 1 post a month, and it's going to be about X, Y, Z. And basically, they take the creative side and they create. You know, you give them your goals, and they create. If you met with them and you like them and you think that they have the value that you guys, it's a mutually beneficial relationship. And so a long-term partnership, you definitely want to be ready to understand their value and what they're going to bring to the table for you, the time that they have to put in to create content, and make sure that their audience is going to engage with that content. And then you also want to be prepared for the fact that they might charge you. It's not going to be a free relationship because they're ultimately putting in work to help you with your brand, help you network with a targeted audience that they've built. Content creation, and obviously they can help you with another thing. If you wanted to do ad campaigns and you're like, well, I don't really want a content creator to post on their page, or I don't want a content creator to push this thing. I just want to use a content creator that's good in front of the camera that people recognize for my ad campaign. And you can totally do that. You can pay a content creator to help you film an ad campaign or film, take pictures, whatever, for something you want to use for paid ads, as opposed to using anything else that I've seen online. So there's tons of different ways. Oh, with content creation, I wanted to mention that you can just have them create content for you and not post on their page. You can have them create content and you can use it on your page. So if you're like, I do not want to get up in front of the camera and do any sort of anything. I don't want to look at the camera, I don't want it to look at me, and you're much better at that, I'll leave that to you. And you just pay them for their time, pay them for their creativity and their resources, and they give you the content. And you don't have to, they don't have to post it on their page. So there's tons of different ways that you can connect. What does a creator do? So it totally encompasses everything from writing, editing. They produce the video because they're kind of coming up with the creative aspect of it. They've already built up an audience and they continue on with the engagement after it has been posted. It's not like they post on their page and leave it to you to answer all the comments. They still have to do all that. And then they push any customer relation issues back to you. Or you can go to that page and you can see if people have questions on the product or something related to that post or what you have to offer, you can go in right there and directly answer that person, or you can just send them a message and answer their questions. Brand management. A content creator has an image to uphold. I know myself, like I have to make sure that if I'm sharing a video, the education is correct, what I'm doing is right. The last thing I want to do is put something out on the internet that is wrong. And then I'm over here looking like I don't know what I'm talking about. And there's nothing worse than that. And I mean, there's no way for us to know everything, and mistakes happen, but we have to manage our brand, because without that, then we lose all the value. And then community outreach, which is another thing. So I heavily invest a lot of time in making sure that people who follow me know that I am happy that they do. And I create a community around that in all the different ways that we discussed earlier. So in summary, before we get to any questions, if you have any, you have to just remember to keep social media social. Remember why it was created at the heart of it all, and curate your strategy around that. Post with purpose. Remember that the purpose is not the sale or the conversion, your ROI. The purpose is the audience. What will they get out of it, and how can I connect with them? And then staying relevant, like I said, just keeping on top of the trends. You don't have to follow every trend, and you don't have to do everything, but just be aware of what's happening so that you don't fall behind, because if you are investing any money in social media marketing, you can easily be wasting a lot of money if you aren't staying relevant. So, does anybody have any questions?
When you were talking about engagement, when someone shares or tags you, is there a time frame on when you want to be back to that engagement? Like, if you get back the next day, is that time you okay? Or
Typically, so there's sometimes if I do make a post or somebody sends me a message, I might not have to get back to her for like 2 weeks. But if I make a post and it's a comment underneath the post, I really do my best to get back to that within 1 to 3 days and answer people. And I try to answer almost every comment, especially if it's a question or an encouraging comment or something that is positive. I always just try to like the comment, even if I just reply with an emoji, because it's, like I said, you don't want to let it go too long, but as long as you are getting back, and if there's things that are more important than others. If somebody asks a very important question, you might want to try to get back to that right away, but if you don't answer everything else, that's okay, get back to it later. But the best thing to do is just carve out some time in the day, every single day, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, to do some engagement. And if nobody is making comments on your post, go out and make comments on others. And they will return the favor. It might take a couple of weeks, but they'll get back.
and that's for like Instagram. Is TikTok the same way? You want to reply to a comment on
TikTok is the same one. I mean, as far as their algorithm goes, like you can post and not answer anyone, but I think that a lot of people are just posting on TikTok right now to go viral. And when you're a business, that's not what's your purpose, right? That's not your purpose. Your purpose is to make another avenue of a customer relationship, So you want to engage, and it doesn't matter if you get 5 views on the video. Those are 5 views that we're genuinely interested in. That will grow over time. So if somebody leaves even one comment back, especially if you're just starting your page in a new platform. Any others?
You guys mess with LinkedIn at all?
I do have a LinkedIn, yes, I do. And I don't really post there that much. I'll answer messages or I'll send messages through there, but I haven't really been posting there very often, so.
How much time do you invest?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. So it could be like, I'm going to say at least probably just in engaging with people on my page and trying to outwardly engage and make sure that people I do follow are like getting love back, probably at least 4 hours a day. Sometimes it could be more.
So we're a team, so we're able to work together.
Yeah.
That helps if you have at least one other person helping you out.
4 hours combined, or?
Yeah, that includes engagement, the content creation.
Oh, he means like me and you.
Oh, you and I. Yeah, combined.
Yeah. And then also the really cool thing with, Instagram specifically, is you can move people, like you can flag things for importance messages. So if somebody sends you a message, you can flag it for later. You can also move them into a general, so you have the regular inbox, and then you'll have a general. And it's like a separate inbox. I like to do that for people, other businesses that I'm in touch with, so that if they send me a message, I don't miss it. So that's a good thing. Like trying to stay organized it's tough, and you get emails, and it's hard to keep those organized. So this is the same thing. And what I also like to do sometimes, I'll get up on my story and I'll say, if there's a business inquiry, please send me an email, or please go here. Like directing them where to go, so that it's not, they think that let me just go to this inbox and send a message. Because if you're not on there 2 days and you didn't message back, then you feel terrible. So, you can do that with make a story and post it in your highlight bubble. Like, get in touch with me. The best way to get in touch is email. Leave your email there so they know where to go if they have something very important. Anything else? No, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Did my presentation help anyone? Did you learn something new? Yeah? Was there anything in the presentation that maybe you're like, oh wow, I thought something totally different than that? No? Just things you've never even seen before? Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody for coming and watching, and I'm very happy that you all learned something new and, hopefully gained some valuable insight. And if you have any other questions that you think of later, definitely send me an email. That's hilechick@gmail.com. That's probably the best way. So if you have any questions at all, that's the best place to reach me. Thank you all.